If you think the only way to succeed in your business is to out-hustle and out-push everyone else, and if you get stuck in mind traps like comparison and keeping up with the competition or never enoughness, not only are you probably exhausted and burned out, but you're missing opportunity and potential. And you'll want to listen into today's episode because I'm talking about building your business the New Earth way. Hi there, and welcome to the I Am Vibrant podcast. My name is Leah Lund, and I'm a vibrant energy guide. And I coach entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, business owners to tap into a hidden energy reserve and concealed wealth coding so that you can attract an abundance of time and money and vibrant energy and a frequency of ease and flow. Before I dive in today, I just want to say that if you already know this topic, if just from my opening there, you know this topic is being sent to you for a reason today, because you're going at a pace that you're not going to be able to keep up, that you are afraid is going to cause a breakdown of some kind, and you don't want that breakdown to be you or your health. If you're holding back in making the next move in your business or life, out of fear that you won't be able to handle it, I want to remind you that all of that handling abundance and fullness in our life comes down to your emotional capacity. And I specialize in helping you break through out of the burnout struggle and the self-sabotaging patterns so you can build that capacity and enjoy a business and life that you love. So if you're interested in going deeper with that, I invite you to consider our Vibrant Woman program. And I will drop a link in the show notes to schedule time to talk with me about that. It is a bit.ly link /VW Clarity Call. And if this is already resonating for you, I encourage you and invite you to schedule time to talk. So now let's go forward and talk about building a new earth business, how to do business the new way so that you can break through all this busyness and overwhelm and actually create greater results, greater financial abundance, accomplish more, and feel more fulfilled. This comes down to one significant shift, and it is the shift from making to creating. Moving from making things happen in your business, and I realize you're probably trained to do that, shifting from that to creating, because when you make that shift, everything shifts. You recharge yourself and your passion. You go from hanging on and struggling and keeping going, and you actually break through to be able to create and experience more in your life without burning yourself out. So it's time to exhale. You can take off that brave face that you might have been wearing. If you're feeling the stress, the tension, the stuckness in your business, you can let that all go and today make the shift right here, right now. So you may be hearing expressions out there like the new earth and the new way and 5D and the great awakening. And as much as you'd love to live in the space of this new paradigm, as a business owner, there's also reality. You might not be sure how to balance or justify your 5D desires with the down and dirty day-to-day of running a business, moving forward in your career, leading your nonprofit, doing your service in the world. That's what this show is all about, building this new earth business and new way of operating that gets you greater results. So right now, close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and think back to why you got into business in the first place, or why you want to, whatever your thing is, why you want to write your book, why you want to start your nonprofit or your movement, whatever it is you're putting out in the world. Even if you haven't started it yet, that's okay. Pause, breathe, and reconnect with that why. Most likely there's two sides to it. It's probably a combination of what having your own business could mean for your life, the freedom of your schedule, living life on your terms, having more time for self and family, And also having a vision of really being able to do what you feel destined to do in the world, living your true purpose. So you've probably taken a leap of faith to move toward that at some point in your life. And then what oftentimes happens is the intensity hits, right? If you're like me, I was in corporate, and when I left, the intensity actually got heavier. And today's landscape has changed so much, and it's actually shifting very rapidly now. It feels like we're living in a 24/7 world that if you blink or sleep, you've missed out on something. But here's how it works. The more you try to keep up, the more you will burn out. And globally, you're seeing it. You're seeing companies and huge organizations, paradigms, institutions falling apart because we as humanity just can't keep operating at this pace and in this way. So this is the Great Awakening, but that doesn't mean it has to be a breakdown of you, your health, or your business. It can actually be an invitation, and that's this invitation of an internal shift from making into creating. That's the short and sweet of it. So let me get into what exactly is the difference and how do you make that shift. So making is of the mind, it's of the ego, and all that implies: being focused on outcome, materialistic gains, feeling insecure, feeling separate, feeling isolated, feeling divided, feeling lack, feeling scarcity, even feeling greed. When you're doing your business in the energy of making, it's like you're doing it to get something, doing it to prove something, very fear-based. Now, creating is it's really our natural innate state of being. It's how Source created us, and we are replicating that energy flow because we came from Source's vibration. We came here to manifest and to experience things in 3D. And when we create, what I really mean by that is that we are co-creating with spirit. We're fulfilling a collective purpose. And when we are in that energy, we always manifest something way bigger than our mind could ever imagine, excuse me. So I want to come back to greed because I used that word a little while. And I just want to be clear on something. When I said greed in ego-based and making-based, I'm not saying that money is bad or that making, that money is equated to the making energy or greed. Money is actually energy, period. So money stories and hesitancy to charge your worth or feeling like it's bad to talk about money, not wanting to be salesy or pushy, they're actually all scarcity-based, making-based energy. So I just wanted to mention that in case you got hung up on that word greed. So let's go talk about making mode. You can tell that you are in making mode when you are trying. There's several things here. You might want to jot them down. When you're trying to force an outcome and the mind is predicting a really narrow view of what success looks like. This is it. If it's not this way, it's not successful. That's making. When you are focused on the result or the outcome, that's making. When you're preoccupied with how things will turn out, that's making. When your actions are tied to performance, approval, or security, that's making. Take a breath if this is getting a little tense, because there is a lot of programming for most people. There's a lot of programming over many, many years and decades that would have you think this is the way to get ahead. Making is attempting to make life and everything around you conform to an expectation or an image that you hold. Making is when you make critical evaluation of outcome or experience, aka judgment. You judge yourself and others and your results, and negatively judge yourself. Making is attaching meaning to situations and circumstances and events in life. When you're in making mode, the overall motivation for your work, for what you're doing, is based on lack, keeping up, getting enough. Making has you think and identify that the results you get have a meaning. They mean something, and usually it's that they mean something about you. So good results, to put it simple, good results makes you a good person, bad results makes you a bad person. And making is doing something to please others because it's what others do or to be liked. When you're making, you're acting from a low vibrating frequency. And remember, you attract what you feel. So you're going to, if you're feeling limited, restricted, controlled, you're going to attract limiting situations. You're going to feel restricted. The ego is in the driver's seat. So for example, I was coaching one of my clients who is a coach, and every time she went out and promoted her program and had a conversation with someone about it, and they didn't enroll, it triggered her worthiness patterning. Her not feeling worthy programming would come up so much that she would just pull back, retreat, and stop offering anything to anybody for a while. And it was this up and down roller coaster. And you probably know, but it bears saying that one of the most important things in any kind of business or project is consistency. And she would be very, very inconsistent because she was attaching her own worthiness to her business success. This is self-sabotage that comes from the making mentality. Result that meant if the result wasn't good enough, she wasn't good enough. And it just went on and on, or she would believe she didn't have the right audience or a big enough audience, or, all things led to either her not being enough or right, or something about her business and how she's doing it not being enough or right. That's attaching meaning, and that's absolutely ego. A good indication of when you're in making mode, by the way, is if you're making it about you. So now let's shift to creating, so we can see how this is so different and so liberating. Creating mode, you first listen to higher power for guidance before you even take action. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? Great Course in Miracles question. You do things, even in your business, especially in your business, for enjoyment, for your own expansion, for service of others, regardless of the outcome. There's that expression that you do it for free. You don't end up doing it for free because you actually create more financial abundance when you're in creative, open energy. But as you're in the motion of taking action and doing it, you're that free. You're not even thinking about outcome. When you're in creation mode, you're curious and playful as you go about doing things. You feel satisfied no matter what the outcome. Your actions are not tied to performance or what you can get from it. You're present in the moment all the time when you're in creation mode. You're there for every moment that you're experiencing. You're in a state where you realize and understand the situations are neutral. No matter what the outcome is, it was a creation. It was something that your vibration and your frequency called forward. And you have a balanced, curious evaluation of your manifestations. When you're in creation mode, you're fulfilled by the journey. You're not dependent on the destination. When you're in creating mode, you're enjoying the miracle of creation itself. The mere act of creation is enjoyment and enjoyable to you. You create for the fun of creating. You're satisfied with what is, you're eager for more. You do something without even needing credit for it. You take action. Higher self is in the driver's seat in creation mode, unlike ego in the driver's seat when you're in making mode. When you're in creation mode, you're in a high vibration frequency. That's why it's called creativity. I have a friend, and we joke that she accidentally started a business because she did. And she accidentally started a very successful business, as a matter of fact. She had a full-time career as a nurse, and she started making jewelry as a side gig because it was fun and she was passionate about it. She never dreamed that she'd ever even, leave her career or it would amount to anything, but she wanted to do it anyway. And she did, and she's been wildly successful. Now, I can hear the ego minds already asking, oh, I tried that once and it didn't work. I tried to be in creation mode and it just didn't work. I'm here to say that when you are in creation energy, the manifestation is not always immediate, but it always does come. So stay in creation energy, because creation is really the process that we are here to experience. It is our creator extending him or her or itself through us into this 3D world of form. We came as energy to enjoy having a physical body and physical manifestation. So taking action on your business is actually your divine right and our inherent collective purpose. In the 3D world, that we have a few definitions of creativity, and they may be a little bit different from what I just said there, but some of the definitions are: creativity is a phenomenon whereby something somehow new and somehow valuable is formed. And the creative item can be intangible, such as an idea, a scientific theory, a musical composition, or a joke, or a physical object. All of those would be examples of a creation. Another definition says creativity is the ability to transcend traditional ideas, rules, patterns, relationships, or the like, and to create meaningful new ideas, forms, methods, interpretations, originality, progressiveness, or imagination. So where you might have before been just thinking of creativity as artistic, like painting, acting, sculpting, etc., your business is a form of creativity. Creation is the act of forming new energy, and it can actually be anything from inviting friends to dinner with no ulterior motive because you're in creation mode and you just want to be in the joy of the moment of it, or running a business or writing a book without looking at that outcome because your intent is simply to spread love or spread consciousness. Creativity and creation mode is conscious manifesting. And either way, you're a powerful creator. Whether you're conscious of it now or not, you're a powerful creator. So you will be creating things. But when you draw your attention to what you're actually creating, that's when you can really make the shift from making to creating, because you see and you feel the difference. Creativity is allowing your energy to change what it touches. And so what I recommend is start being in creation mode and recognizing your creations or manifestations about everything, not just your business, but about everything. From the moment you wake up in the morning, the reality that you experience all day long is only happening to you, and it's only happening because of your frequency, how you are feeling, and the action that you're taking. And then your action has an energetic input. We're born to be in an open, creative state, playing in your queendom. Think, what if, like, just imagine right now you wake up tomorrow, or maybe it's still in your workday right now. You go back when you turn off this podcast and you treat your quote unquote work, I'm using air quote, finger quotations, you treat your work as playing in your queendom with no regard for outcome, simply because you are here to take action so that you can expand yourself and fully experience this 3D world. What a shift that will be. I'm going to give you 5 other tips here of how to start playing in creative mode, playing with your creative energy. Number 1 is start the day with listening. Don't assume the mind always has the best plan. Course in Miracles, Way of Mastery, teach listening sessions and radical inquiry and holy listening. And that takes commitment of carving out time and space at the very beginning of every day when you have not had any other energetic influences to come to a quiet place all by yourself and say, here I am. What would you have me do? And then listen with absolute confidence to hear what source, spirit, God, whatever your word for it is, would have you do. You can say, here I am your pencil. What shall I draw? What would you like to create through me today? Help me hear your voice clearly and have the courage to follow your guidance. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? And don't have a preconceived answer. If you do, that's the ego mind. Take your marching orders from source and see how that shifts what's happening in your business. Second thing is frequently step back and look at your business from a wider view and look for the 20% of your effort that's really yielding the 80% of your results, and let that 80% of effort that's not creating results go. Let it go. Find the shortest, simplest, most direct way, most direct route, sometimes one single action that you can take that gets the effort that you wanted, and let the rest of it go. Because if you are a taskmaster and you're just running from one to-do to the next, one to-do to the next, not only is it exhausting, but you're missing Spirit's guidance. You're missing miracles and opportunity because the ego mind is running the show and thinking, well, I have to do 52,000 things today, and that's going to create what I'm hoping to create. Nothing could be further from the truth. Breathe, pause, reflect, journal. All great leaders journal. And focus your efforts on the 20% of things that yield the biggest result, and just let the rest go. The next thing is a similar point, but it's taking time and reflection to evaluate all of your projects and your activities and your processes and things that you do in your business. And you could make columns, what drains your energy and what gives you your energy, and put everything you do in a day in one column or the other. And when you have that done, look at the column that drains your energy and ask, how could these things be easier? How could I make this easier? Cut out the fluff, cut out the doing things just for sake of doing it, or because everybody else does it that way, or whatever else the mind comes up with. But ask for every single thing that you do on a regular basis that actually drains your energy. How could it be easier? Now, I co-designed the Inspirement Life Planner, and there is a tool in this planner that I'm going to use as number 4 here, and you can use it whether you have the planner or not, but I will put the link for the Inspirement Life Planner in the show notes. But the Inspirement Life Planner has a section, instead of your typical planner that has, a place where you write all your appointments and you basically write all your to-dos, and that's all that's in there. The Inspirement Life Planner has 2 sections, your breathe in and your breathe out. So you are making a new kind of to-do list. It's a new earth kind of to-do list. And the top priority, the top section of the planner, is your breathe in, which is your self-care, your connections, your social connections, your rituals, your spiritual practice. Those come first in the Inspirement Life Planner. You write those out just like you would any other to-do. And then after that, you have your breathe out, which are inspired actions and more traditional to-dos. But the balance between breathing in and breathing out is equal. The space to list those things is equal, because this is your way to self-regulate your own energetic state of being and your own frequency every single day. This is the way to really make sure you're in creation mode and not just making mode, because there's only so much room for the inspired action and the to-do. Things can't go in there that aren't truly inspired and truly of creation and guided to you, and you're filling yourself back up. This is an intentional act of expanding yourself and rejuvenating yourself so that you don't get burned out and you don't wear your nervous system out. So again, the link for that planner is in the show notes. And then the last step I have for you for really tapping into creation mode versus making mode is spend time to ask yourself creative energy questions. And I'm going to give you some suggestions here. First one is, what would you love to do, but you don't think is realistic? Doing realistic things is making. And practice asking what is possible, because we limit, the mind takes over and limits ourselves. So what would I love to do, but I don't think is realistic? And then what else is possible? Now, when you have a specific problem or something triggers you or something is wearing on you, or you're worried about something, or whatever situation you're not able to see as neutral, and you're actually, it's bringing your vibration down. Here's some other creative energy questions you can ask. Am I controlling or trusting? It's one or the other. Controlling is making, trusting is creative. Does this feel expansive or constrictive? Expansion is creation. Constrictive, rigid is making. Is this for me or for higher power? Me is making, higher power is creating. Am I reinforcing possibilities or limitations? Am I in allowance or resistance? Ultimately, is this love or is this fear? When you shift from making mode to creating mode, you'll realize the enjoyment comes from the doing, not from the destination, not from how it turns out. You realized you're here to be a powerful creator, and you create as much as you can. You take as much action as you can. And without the ego mind interference, evaluating, judging everything and giving you these heavy thoughts of right way and wrong way, and just tightening off your source energy, it does become a joy. So start practicing today. Set reminders for 3 check-in points. And just when that reminder phone alarm goes off, just stop whatever you're doing and say, am I making or creating? Because you can't make a shift if you don't even know, if there's no awareness. So awareness is really the first step. So have at least 3 checkpoints today and just stop whatever it is right when that alarm goes off and ask yourself, am I making or creating? Either way, don't judge or punish yourself. Just redirect your energy. So I come back to something that I said at the beginning of this episode, and that is, if you know, it is no accident that you've heard this, because you've been in making mode, and keeping that pace is affecting your energy, your relationships, maybe even your health. Or if you are really stuck and bound up inside because you're holding back on making the next move in your business or life for fear that you won't be able to handle it, that is emotional capacity. It takes some emotional capacity to get into the creating mode. And this is my specialty. I specialize in helping you break free from burnout, the struggle of burnout, the struggle that creates burnout, and from self-sabotaging patterns, so that you can build that capacity and you can enjoy a business and a life that you absolutely love. So again, if you're interested, you're on the fence about joining our Vibrant Woman program, go ahead and book a Vibrant Woman Clarity call with me, and we'll get clear and get you into creation mode. And that's at bit.ly/VW Clarity Call. And that is in the show notes. It's been great to be here. I hope you found this useful. I look forward to hearing about how you start creating versus making. So if you have any questions or success stories for me, I would love to hear them. You can email those to me at leah@onewholehealth.com. And if you're listening on iTunes, please do give us a 5-star rating, because that really helps move this podcast up so that I can support more women in making this shift to be creators versus makers in your business and in your life. And when you do that, it's shifting it in the world. And this is the great awakening. And this shift gets to happen. It's been great to be with you. And I'll be back next episode.